He had brain tumor surgery at our hospital.
Okay.
And then we also had General John's here.
Yeah.
General John, General Sear,
Yeah, exactly.
they all at our hospital for health checkup and for their complete. We conducted nephrectomy on John, Lieutenant General John.
John,
and,
yeah. He was also here.
Nephrectomy operation. He underwent at our hospital. And as I told you, the Santino, DG Immigration, he
was
has
here.
big tumor, 90% removal we could do.
What? Okay, I have a question here.
Yeah.
You people are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So my
Great. कट जाएगा ना?
I will soon also come for general checkup.
Yes.
Yes, most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, today many programs are happening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would like to invite our honorable diplomats on the dais, and I would request our members to felicitate them with the Patka. First of all, I would request Charge Affair of Djibouti to come on the dais. Malhotra ji, इनका सम्मान करें. We have we have
There are 5 we can repeatedly do it.
Very auspicious. I think Sir, please.
I'm a professional
very good afternoon to all of you. Tomorrow, Nelson Mandela's birthday, and on the occasion of Nelson Mandela's birthday, we are celebrating International Nelson Mandela Day today. First of all, Honorable Tiles, I thank the GTTCI inviting me here for the opening remarks on this day. Today, as I've said, International Nelson Mandela Day, and why it is so. Today is the day to legacy of the Mandela's values. That's why we are celebrating the Mandela Day. And Excellency, we request you to come forward.
We have our, sorry for interrupting.
Today, why we are celebrating this day, the important thing in India is Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, both were the lawyers, both did their LLB. The more important is both have fought against the colonialism through peaceful methods, non-violent methods. And that is more important in Mandela's life, because with his consistent fighting against the apartheid policies, through peaceful methods, through satyagraha, through different mode of movements, and finally, with his consistency, we had South Africa 1994, apartheid-free South Africa. My university former Vice Chancellor, Professor Upendra Bakshi, after independence of South Africa, 94, he was invited to one of the members of the Constitutional Committee to frame the Constitution. And my personal experience is, it was the motivation, it was the inspiration of Mandela's consistency to stand only for rule of law, to stand only for the constitutional law, to stand only for the constitutional rights, whether it is right to equality, whether it is other rights, but he consistently stood only for the constitutional values. And with this motivation, in 1999, in Johannesburg, in Johannesburg, I met Nelson Mandela, and I'm the only one who made a comparative study of Indian Constitution and South Africa Constitution. And with a consistent motivation, Government of India has invited Madiba in India, and we have given him the Indira Gandhi Peace Prize, along with the other participation in India. I remember lakhs of people in Calcutta, and they welcomed Mandela, a noble soul who stood only for the constitutional values. Today, whether it is Madiba's philosophy of conflict resolution or his philosophy of having the rainbow nation of South Africa through truth and reconciliation, we remember the day, and on this occasion, we commit our firm faith in truth, in non-violence, constitutional values, and for social harmony. Then only we will really celebrate the International Nelson Mandela Day on this.
Great. I would
Okay. Back. So.
thank you, sir. Now it is time.
A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Yashoda Super Speciality Hospitals, Kaushambi. Today, I am filling up for my Managing Director, Mrs. Upasana Arora. I, Jyoti Kaur, President of International Marketing, it is my privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to each and everyone present here today. We are gathering here for a special event, which is the Nelson Mandela International Day. I am grateful for the time and effort that you all have taken to come and grace this occasion. Nelson Mandela International Day is an annual international day in honor of the Nelson Mandela, celebrated each year on 18 July on his birthday. The day was officially declared by the United Nations in November 2009, and thereafter it has been celebrated every year with full zeal and confidence. This particular day has the power to transform the world, the ability to make an impact. Nelson Mandela has fought for social justice for over 67 years. We would be honored if such a day can serve to bring people together around the world and fight poverty, promote peace, reconciliation, and cultural diversity. Mr. Nelson Mandela's International Day 2023 is a vision of the Nelson Mandela Foundation to decisively talk against the consequences of climate change and food insecurity. Never, never, never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another speech given on 10th May 94 in Pretoria was only through hardship, sacrifice, and militant action, freedom to win all was given by our Mr. Mandela. It is impossible to have not heard about him. Former President of South Africa, Mr. Nelson Mandela is considered to be the father, of course, and the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 was conferred to him. He said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got up again." These words really are applaudable for Mr. Nelson Mandela. Let us be as success in life. I, from Yashoda Super Speciality Hospitals, would like my colleague Dr. Dagar, the COO from Yashoda Super Speciality Hospitals, to come and share a few words with all of you here today and tell something more also about him and our hospital. Please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our excellencies from different embassies of African continent. As my dear colleague has already established in introduction of today's occasion, and it's very well known to all of us, and I think Mr. Nelson Mandela is such an individual who actually doesn't need any introduction, because right from our childhood, I think people of my generation would agree to this, that we have been reading about Mahatma Gandhi, we have been reading about Nelson Mandela, and there are a lot of things which are similar in both the personalities in terms of their advocacy for non-violence, equality, following the constitution, following the land of law, and providing equal opportunity to each and every individual on this earth. It's been 20 years that he passed away, and the much what he has contributed to the world in terms of the ideology, which is something which we all live by and can live on, and the kind of intolerance or the kind of feeling of insecurity and the things which is happening across the globe. If we pick any of the country in any of the region, whether it is Europe, America, or Australia, Africa, I think it's high time now that we start following the ideologies what we have read in our books, in our literature about Mr. Nelson Mandela. With that, we will be living in peace, in harmony with each other. And now if I talk about my organization, we are Yashoda Super Speciality Hospitals from Delhi NCR. Right now we are running 2 hospitals contributing about 710 tertiary care beds. Shortly, within the next 6 to 9 months down the line, we'll be coming up with a Yashoda Medicity within Delhi NCR, which is going to be a state-of-art organization. And with this organization, we have already started, building up a kind of understanding and alliance with different countries of African continent. Again, I'm saying that we believe in equality. So with all these countries, we are trying to kind of build a platform for the countrymen of both the nations, wherein we can exchange our knowledge, we can exchange the technology, the talent which both the countries have, and establish best practices in healthcare services. And I look forward on this occasion of Nelson Mandela. I put up my appeal to all the gentlemen and a lady of sharing the knowledge and sharing the same ideology of peace, non-violence and equality. Thank you so much.
Excellency, please join here. Yes, come in one frame. Yeah, great.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome you all and thank you everybody to witness this great moment of releasing the book Nelson Mandela. I am thankful to my publisher Piyush Gupta ji from Prabhat Prakashan, India's renowned publication house, for giving me the opportunity and releasing the wonderful book and the cover in a very short span of time. Hope we will be giving copy to all the visitors today, if you have, and let's see. And I like to hear from each one of you for your valuable comments. There need not to say anything about more Mandela because we have many eminent speakers today, all diplomats from different countries. I am thankful to His Excellency Dr. Roger Kapal, Mr. Laszlo from Hungary, and Comoros, Togo, Djibouti, Gambia, Palestine, Rwanda, South Sudan, and we have some diplomats friends from Vietnam and some students from Kenya and Uganda also are with us. Today at least 3 to 4 events are happening in the same time. about Mr. Nelson Mandela. Maybe tomorrow also there are a lot of events. So, but we are thankful to you all for having your valuable time, sparing your valuable time and joining us here. So, not speaking much, now I would request to start with Dr. Rosa Gopal to say a few words about Nelson Mandela and the book.
Thank you very much. And it's truly an honor to be here. I was not sure that I would be able to make it on time. I'm just running from another engagement, but I'm just happy that I did make it on time. And everything in its right time. So I bring greetings to the excellencies, to the author, to those that powered and published the book, Nelson Mandela. Now, interestingly, I had no idea that I was going to give a few words. But if you don't mind, I will give a few experiences. I've actually lived in South Africa for 4 years of my life. When I was just 16 years old, I was able to witness Nelson Mandela leaving prison on television while I sat in a Caribbean island so many miles away from the event. But then, as I grew up, destiny would so have it that it took me to South Africa. And I decided, let me read on this man that we call Nelson Mandela. But besides reading, I had the opportunity to meet his children. And I sat with them and I listened to their story. One that you would not find written in a book. I was also very fortunate to be in the house of Winnie Mandela. And I was also given the chance to attend her funeral. I sat with the one white attorney that defended Nelson Mandela for 27 years and had his story, the story that he gave. And what apartheid meant, what it meant to take citizens born in their country, worked in their country, and then treated as second class in the very land of their birth. I was able to hear those stories. I was able to go to Cape Town and listen to those who told me of the pencil test, which is to determine how black or colored you are. They will take a pencil, put it on your head, and if it slides off, then you're not really black. I was able to walk into the apartheid museum and see what discrimination was and hear the stories from those who lived it. It is not beautiful. But what is beautiful is that a man such as Nelson Mandela would be born on this earth, who decided that against all odds, he will stand. Life could have been easier for him, but he chose a life that was very difficult so that life could be easier for many. What is the major lesson here today? We don't do what is convenient to ourselves. We always do what is in the best interest of our world. Thank you for this opportunity to share a few words.
We request our member, Mr. Umesh and Mr. Tandon, to come forward and present a small token of love to Excellency. Thank you, Excellency.
From the embassies. I don't have the best of place because after hearing His Excellency from Trinidad and Tobago, I've never met Mandela, never been to South Africa, but being from the continent, of course I know about Mandela. And what can you say about the man that's not already been done? Then again, I don't know, I read that book about him, I know about him, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here. And of course, he's a hero, and the stuff that made of legend. Sometimes the word legend is thrown away like that, but there is a couple of your own Mahatma Gandhi is part of it that we can really call legend. So being from the continent, I'm very proud to call home the same place, that the same continent. than Mandela is. I'm very proud to be here. I'm very proud to be part of this day. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
From various high commissions or embassies, ladies and gentlemen, member of GTTCI. Mr. Gupta is full of surprises and he's done it again. Well, I am happy to stand in front of you to talk about Mandela. Rightly, as my colleague just said, he was lucky to meet Mandela. Well, I was born in the late 50s, and in the late 50s, Mandela, South Africa, apartheid was all over the news. Television wasn't that much popular, but radio through BBC we had in West Africa. And in the 70s, late 70s, when I left high school and started working at the radio station, most of our international news were based on South Africa. One thing I love about Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi is, about 3 months ago, I had the privilege to visit, how is it called again? I was in this university here in Gujarat. And we had a visit at Mandela's place. Straight away it went to my mind that the similarities with these two different people are the same, just like twins from different mothers. God knows I love Gandhi. You know why I love Gandhi? He had a big heart. He had a foresight and he forgave. When I want to push up the forgiveness and the acceptance of Mandela, we might base it as we're Africans. Yes, I'm African, but I'm from West Africa, not from South Africa. But Africa is just one continent. The same resilience that Gandhi had, Mandela had. The same acceptance and tolerance from Mandela is attributed to Gandhi. The same hunger strife. Gandhi would not eat if his people haven't eaten. Same to Mandela. And when Mandela was released, and he had read it, I think briefly, it is on page 33. He said, I have forgiven.
So fast.
Of course. And what did Gandhi do? When he was also released, he said there is no place for anger. So why do we have to be angry? I thank Mr. Gupta and his organization for organizing such a rich, wonderful historical moment. I won't go without pointing a finger at Joshua. My High Commission is opened for MOUs to be signed. You know why? Because we want to explore what you people have to offer, what we have to learn from you people, so that we will have a better world for Africa, a better world for India, and a better cooperation for everybody. Thank you very much.
Wait. Thank you. Now it's time to hear from CDA, our DCM of
Gupta, and congratulations on your issuing and editing the book. And I was really eager to come for this event. Thank you very much. And let me welcome also other participants here. I was born in 1960, but how we perceive Mandela, it depends where we lived in those heavy years of fight, what Mandela did. And we belong to the socialist part of the world, the eastern part, and they had the western part, and it's very difficult to judge because I think was the continent where the big powers after the Second World War did not want to let the nations go free because they felt a kind of grievance after this. I know that the people over there are very honest and they strive for freedom and they like freedom, and they would never accept any rule that would be imposed on them because they like freedom. And when I was in, and of course we met both sides in Angola when we wanted without you, okay? So we really understood that these people had to take into their hands the future of their nations. And when he became the president, I think in the 1990, 1991, at that time frame, you know, and people looked from Europe, okay, so we have a very consistent person who is fighting for the freedom of his nation and fighting against any rule. And you know, the biggest euphoria was then after he was released from prison and he became the president, and the entire African continent was behind Nelson Mandela. So it was and he did during his presidency whatever he wanted to do in all his life. So I think such people like Nelson Mandela have a footprint on the humanity, and we must be proud of that, and especially those people who come from those nations. So congratulations to you, and I'm really happy I was here, so wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Namaste. I'm trying to learn Hindi.
Yeah.
When we talk about Mandela, when we look critically, especially in Africa, Mandela was kind of the leader. He had servant heart, and he was a servant leader. Because basically when he was talking about the common good of the people. If you talk about the common good, what are these common goods? People need access, good access to the hospital. People, they need good food. People, they need good water. They need shelter. All these good things. This is what Mandela was talking about. And he was talking about the justice. This is why he was even imprisoned. Okay? You know, when you just see, you know, sometimes I really think about myself. Will I become real like Mandela with the heart that he had? Okay? It is so difficult. Imagine somebody who was in prison for 27 years. He came from there with the reconciliation. He reconciled. This to show that Mandela was a peacemaker. He loves peace. It's just like Gandhi also. They love peace. So this is the little that I just want to share with you, because my colleagues, they have talked. And I'm sure others are going to talk also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So,
Excellency sitting on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, lot has been already said about the great man, Mr. Nelson Mandela. I don't think I need to add anything more. I can only say one thing: a gentleman who was in prison for 30% of his life almost 30% of his life, how determined person he was and what was the dedication of the person. There are so many quotations of Mr. Mandela, and one quotation was read by Madam sitting on the dais, that never judge me by my successes, judge me how many times I got back, right? There are few more which I want to read to you, and I will end my few words. And the most important one, what Mr. Mandela said, it always seems impossible unless it is done. Anything you do in your life, you will think it is impossible, I can't do it. But when you try for it and you succeed, then it is not impossible, it is done. Second was, many people in this country have paid the price, and many more after me will also pay the price. So therefore, he was so humble, he was so great. In spite of sacrificing his life, he was not taking all the credit for the successes he achieved. Third was, money won't create success. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it win. If you have money, don't think that you are a successful man. But if you are a free person and you can make any amount of money in life. And last but not the least, it is easy to break down and destroy. It is easy to break down and destroy. The heroes are those who make peace and build. So that is what Nelson Mandela was. So these are very few quotations of him. There are many more of such things because the time is very short. So I have to end here. So let us celebrate his birthday. Let us celebrate the teachings, what he gave to the world. And let us say, long live Mandela, long live India-Africa friendship. Thank you very much.
Mr. Umesh.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for organizing this event, and thank you so much for inviting us. Excuse me for my poor English, because we are French country, but I'm trying. It is a privilege and an honor for us to be here to talk about Nelson Mandela. And when we compare the two persons, Mandela and Muhammad Gandhi, a lot of people always already said that they are like twins. It's the two personalities. They always fight for freedom, for peace, for justice. And when we see their life, we have to learn a lot of lessons from these two persons. Someone says here that it's very easy to destroy. Very easy to destroy, but when you want to build, it will take a lot of time, a lot of money. Then, without peace, without freedom, we cannot develop our countries. This day we are celebrating the Nelson Mandela's Day. We have to take a lot of lessons from these two people, Mandela and Gandhi, so that we can develop our countries. Without being together, without accepting each other, we cannot develop our countries, because everyone has his competence. Everyone has to bring his he has to bring something for the development of the country. We have to accept each other. It's very important. We cannot come here and
talk about Nelson Mandela, talk about Muhammad Gandhi, and when we go out, we don't do like these persons, because we have to learn small things from them, so that we can build a peaceful and beautiful countries. Thank you so much for the wonderful relationship between India and a lot of countries. And thank you so much for GTTCI for the organization of the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Bui for Vietnam, come forward.
Dear Dr. Gorav, Excellencies, members of Diplomatic Corps, Excellency Honorary Consul, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Gorav for inviting us to this beautiful event. I'm from Rwanda, and thank you, Excellencies, for your insightful messages. You had the time to visit South Africa, and so you inspired a lot. But as far as I'm concerned, in Africa we celebrate Mandela as a man who devoted his entire life to justice, to the cause of equality, and his remarkable journey has been inspiring many Africans. And I would like to thank Mr. Gorav for this outstanding book, and I'm sure you've contributed to the next generations. They will have to read something which is complete and which will inspire the future generations. Thank you so much. So in our country, Rwanda, as the country so we experienced the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, but we find motivation in Nelson Mandela approach to resilience, to build a society that lives in harmony, and Rwanda's journey towards reconciliation and national renewal aligns with the principles of Mandela, of course the principles he advocated for, and our government has been working hard to promote unity, to promote reconciliation after the genocide which happened in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, so as we gather here today, let's Mandela legacy of resilience, reconciliation and forgiveness, and the commitment to justice ignite our inspiration, and let us strive to build like a world where peace, equality and justice prevails. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Please come in the middle. Malhotra ji. Thank you, brother. Now we have.
Good afternoon, everybody, my sister and my brothers. I want to thank the organizers and my friend Dr. Korab for inviting me for this event. You know, maybe my old colleague Nelson Mandela, they mentioned about the experience and his life. You know, in Palestine, it's different relation because Mandela was friend of our leaders Yasser Arafat a lot of time, and they have same experience of liberation our homeland. They are struggles and sacrifice. And also Mahatma Gandhi, same experience. Both of them have peace, message of peace. Not they are struggling about military. Every time they are talking about peace. Mahatma Gandhi spent, Nelson Mandela spent many years in prison. He is struggling and sacrificed to liberate his homeland. And also, he visited my homeland. He visited my cities, Gaza, in 1999 when he became a president of South Africa. And our government in Palestine make a big statue of Nelson Mandela in Ramallah. And now it's symbol of freedom in all the world. All the delegation visited Palestine, visited this square. It's in the big square in Ramallah city. I can't add because all my colleagues are talking about this event. I want to thank you and
Madam Amir. We have ambassador from Caribbean island, South America. We have ambassador from Europe, Hungary. Then Asian we have Palestine. So we have covered the whole world. And from Vietnam also. Now you are going to say something.
Yeah, Excellency, my dear gentlemen, dear my colleagues in diplomatic corps, Mr. Manocha and Dr. Garuta and Spo, thank you very much for inviting me to so very important meeting. Actually, I'm sorry to come late because I have another meeting, but because of Dr. Gupta, and he said that this is very important. You must come to see how I write about Nelson Mandela. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, actually, many of you know about Vietnam. When I came here, I asked many Vietnamese friends, many Indian friends, do you know Vietnam? They only said, bang, 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 bang. This means that they know only Vietnam to the war. Vietnam, we are suffering a lot of war, you know. But now we are quite developed. Even when I visit one of the place in India, where one of the you can say the leader of one state of India. So ask me, where do you come from? So I come from Vietnam. So do you come from north or south of Vietnam? So actually we have only one Vietnam. We don't have north or south Vietnam. So that's another story that not many people know about Vietnam. But today, Nelson Mandela, one of the leaders of the not only some country in the world, they are very well known in Vietnam. Like Mr. Dr. Gaurakuta in Vietnam, recently we also celebrate the birthday of the great person of the world, not only in Africa, in Africa, but all the world. And many of us, even young generation like us, we also thankful to the great leader. So I think that today, even one of the event we recognize the important and thankful to the leader of the world, where we can bring peace to Africa and to many other countries. Like Vietnam, we are suffering a lot of war, so we know how the importance of the love and the peace. So one of them, I thank you very much.
Sir, I would like to ask Prakashan Mr. Piyuji, sir, how many books have you published till date?
We have always published almost 7,500 books, and nowadays we publish 2 books every day. Two new books every day in English and Hindi.
It's a great honor for me, I know, but I want to reconfirm it. Thank you, Excellency. We have one more memento. Upasna ji, we can present today. Sir, we have one more. Achha.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Come, Malhotra ji, please. Thank you. Oh, we have Mr. Subhash Goyal ji. Please come, sir. Thank you, Subhash ji, for joining. Please come for a picture. Come.
We should be garlanding you. Yes. Today is his day.
No.
Please. I also went to the gala demo.
No.
नहीं यार आज तेरा दिन है भाई Today is his day. हमेशा तू गार्लैंड करता है, आज हमारी बारी है.
Yes, sir.
एक मिनट.
Most of the
Yes, elevator here. Please.
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And behind the failure of every man, there is more than one.
more than one नहीं है जी, जो manage नहीं कर पाता.
Chadda is successful both the ways. आगे संतोष जी इधर आगे फ्रंट में. मनीष भाई को भी बुला ले साथ में.
मनीष भाई आइए.
Excellencies, diplomats, members of GTTCI, and the sponsor of this event, Yashoda Hospitals. I think I am the only one in this audience who had the opportunity to work with Mr. Mullah in 1970, who was the representative of African National Congress in Delhi. We had a theatre communication building Yes. And I was the secretary of Delhi Youth Press Club. We used to organize meetings not in Theatre Communication Building but all over India against apartheid, against discrimination, against social injustices. You have heard the popular words equality, peace, equality. But what was there in South Africa? As India, there was untouchability. Similarly, there was a discrimination against name, against caste, against temples, against schools, against everywhere, against roads, against localities. Everywhere it was discrimination, man-to-man discrimination was there. Nelson Mandela we organized a meeting for against apartheid, and the national poet Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Dinkar ji was there, and Harivansh Rai Bachchan, father of Amitabh Bachchan, was there. So I recited a poem of Amitabh Bachchan. मंदिर मस्जिद वैर बढ़ाते प्यार बढ़ाती मधुशाला. Then Harivansh Rai Bachchan, the father of Amitabh Bachchan, stood and said, "It is wrong. I have not written like this. I have written, वैर बढ़ाते मंदिर मस्जिद प्यार बढ़ाती मधुशाला." So Nelson Mandela is one important name. I think he is the only man who spent first 5 years from 1961 to 66 in jail. Then he was again sent to jail for 27 years. There is no such example except Indian icon Veer Savarkar. But Veer Savarkar has different controversies, whereas Nelson Mandela has no controversy. When Nelson Mandela was born, his father died at the age of when he was 12 years old. His name was not Nelson. Once you entered a primary school, it was a must that you should change your name from your local name to Christian name. So his name was put as Nelson. On June 11th, 1964, he was sentenced to life. Some people say there is similarity between Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. There was similarity in the ideals, in the approach, humanitarian approach, justice. But Nelson Mandela was put behind the bars because he wanted to plan an attack. He used the military plan to use his force against the apartheid regime. So there is a difference. Then there is another name, Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh also fought for the liberation of the people. His method was different. Yasser Arafat, he was a peace-loving man. When Nelson Mandela came to India, we had an opportunity to meet him. from Bombay. He happened to be the Indian ladies cricket team. She was sitting with me. She told me, now I have only one desire, that I want a husband. I said, you have come to see such a great man, you will have the blessings. And after a week, she got married. It was forced to have struggle, and he was in a position to kick away these French people and American people from the land of Vietnam, and it became once. When Yashoda came to Delhi, we were the first to organize his public meeting. Later on, the government of India made every year a process to organize his talk in Vigyan Bhavan. Now, my friend from Rwanda is here. 1994, April to July, 10 lakh people were killed, massacred, Tutsis. And we were the only one who organized public meeting in India International Center against the genocide in Rwanda. So every country has its own experience, but Nelson Mandela is unique. How I went to London in the evening, I had nothing to do. I get bored even one day. How a man can stay for 27 years in jail? A man must have been killed in isolation. Here is a man with strong determination, with strong decisions, with a goal that apartheid must go, discrimination must go, equality man to man must prevail. But we are lucky that we sent a liar to Africa, and Africa returned us a Mahatma. So in this occasion, you have heard many people, many friends. I am thankful to all of you. It is Mr. Gaurav Gupta, celebrated under this banner of GTTCI, Nelson Mandela's International Day. Last year we also celebrated. Last year we had webinar also, Colonial Times. It is our continuous process to celebrate such days for the awakening of the people. What is discrimination? You must understand. But you cannot understand unless somebody makes you realize. So with these words, I thank all the audience, all the members, all the diplomats who have come here to celebrate UN designation International Day of Mandela. And with these words, I cordially invite all of you over a cup of tea after this.
We have Mr. Apur Gupta from son of Mr. O.P. Gupta who couldn't join. A small token of love for you. Excellency, please. He had worked for Africa.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's fine, I'll hold the car right here.
Thank you. Yes. Great.
यू ट्रैवल से यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल से बोल रही हूँ। आज हमें बहुत खुशी है कि नेल्सन मंडेला डे, जो कि एक इंटरनेशनल डे है, इसको मनाने में हमने GTTCI का सहयोग दिया है। हमें सिर्फ हेल्थ, पूरी विश्व भर शांति ही नहीं, हेल्थ के लिए भी बहुत चिंता है। और ये है कि खाली बीमारियों का इलाज नहीं, एक प्रिवेंटिव मेडिसिन भी बहुत ज़रूरी बन जाती है। तो इस करके GTTCI से गुप्ता जी और मैं ज्योति, यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल, आई एम रिप्रेजेंटिंग मिसेस उपासना अरोरा हियर, हु इज़ आवर मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, एंड हम लोगों ने इस इवेंट में पार्टिसिपेट किया, एकजुट हुए और 15 से ज़्यादा मुल्कों से जो हैं, एम्बेसीज से, कॉन्सुलेट्स, चार्जड अफेयर्स, कमर्शियल काउंसलर्स, ट्रेड कमिश्नर्स, सब ने इसमें भाग लिया। Thank you so much.
We celebrate the similarity between the great leader Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela, and India is also the land of. We have already honored him with the Bharat Ratna. He was the Nobel Prize winner. We need not to say about him. Everybody knows him very well. And today I was proud privileged to launch the book on the life of Nelson Mandela, published by my publisher Prabhat Prakashan. It is again great honor to share the book on Mandela, and everybody knows and everything is available on internet, but book has its own value, and what we feel new generation can learn a lot from Mandela's life.
थैंक यू। मैम, कुछ बुकें भी रिलीज हुई है, मैम जी क्या कहना चाहेंगी आप नेल्सन मंडेला के बारे में, इक्विवेलेंट महात्मा गांधी जी के बारे में?
नमस्कार, मैं ज्योति कौर यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल का शम्बी से बोल रही हूँ। आई एम प्रेसिडेंट इंटरनेशनल मार्केटिंग मेडिकल वैल्यू ट्रैवल। हमारे यहाँ हॉस्पिटल में कई अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज़ में से कई पेशेंट्स आए हैं जो कि ठीक होके गए हैं। आज नेल्सन मंडेला डे का स्पॉन्सरशिप हम लोगों ने किया है, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि दुनिया भर में, विश्व भर में, खाली अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज़ में ही नहीं, हेल्थ का महत्व रखा जाए। सिर्फ बीमारियों का इलाज नहीं, प्रिवेंटिव हेल्थ केयर जिसे कहते हैं, जिससे बीमारियां ना हो, क्योंकि विश्व भर में काफ़ी खतरनाक बीमारियां भी फैली हुई हैं। तो जितना मदद यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल कर सकती है वो करेगी। नेल्सन मंडेला डे जी, ये तो प्रधानमंत्री साउथ अफ्रीका के थे। 2009 में इस दिन की नियुक्ति की गई थी यूनाइटेड नेशंस के द्वारा। उसके बाद अपार्थाइड मूवमेंट और उनके 67 इयर्स स्ट्रगल को हर एक व्यक्ति दुनिया भर में जानता है। इस चीज़ को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए आज 15 देशों से भी अधिक राजदूत आए थे, जिन्होंने इस पर्टिकुलर इवेंट में पार्टिसिपेट किया हमारे साथ, और हम उनके आभारी हैं कि ये आज एकजुट होके, एक मत होके, खाली अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज़ ही नहीं, हंगरी, वियतनाम, दूसरी कंट्रीज़ में से भी आए हैं। इसका महत्व इससे पता चलता है।
तो बहुत अच्छी बात है मैम जी, लेकिन जो है हमारे हिंदुस्तान में भी जिस तरह से नेल्सन मंडेला का पूरे वर्ल्ड में मनाया जाता है, ऐसे हमारे क्रांतिकारियों का भी ऐसे पूरे देशों में मनाया जाना चाहिए। क्या कहना चाहिए?
बिल्कुल जी, उसी के लिए यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल्स बहुत उद्यम कर रही हैं। आज का इवेंट भी इसी करके हम लोगों ने स्पॉन्सर किया था, ताकि हम अपने क्रांतिकारियों को, गांधी जी का जैसे जो सीख है, जो है, वो सब चीज़ों को, हिंदुस्तान को बाहर हम प्रदर्शित कर सकें दूसरे मुल्कों में। इसी करके आज ये पर्टिकुलर नेल्सन मंडेला डे, इंटरनेशनल डे पे हमने भाग लिया।
यशोदा स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल जो है बहुत काम कर रहा है, सबको मालूम है, लेकिन जो हमारे रूरल एरिया में जो बच्चे हैं
जो कुपोषण से और कई चीज़ों से वो बहुत परेशान हैं, बीमारियों से ग्रस्त हैं। क्या उन रूरल एरिया के बारे में भी कुछ सोचा जा रहा है मैम?
बिल्कुल जी, हम लोग चाहे ज़्यादा बताते नहीं हैं, लेकिन यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल से मिसेस उपासना अरोरा, जो कि हमारी मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं, उन्होंने कई विलेजेस को अडॉप्ट कर लिया है, जिसको एंटी ट्यूबरक्लोसिस ड्राइव हम कह रहे हैं, जिसमें ख़त्म करना चाह रहे हैं हम यूपी में, और एंटी अनीमिया ड्राइव है। स्पेशली चैलेंज्ड मेंटली स्पेशली डेवलप्ड चिल्ड्रन के लिए स्पेशल ओलंपिक भारत की गेम्स हुई हैं जो अभी हाल ही में बर्लिन में, उसी में प्रोत्साहन देने के लिए डॉक्टर पी.एन. अरोरा हमारे चेयरमैन, मिसेस उपासना अरोरा हमारी मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल से गई, उन्होंने भाग लिया, उन्होंने इनको बच्चों को प्रोत्साहन दिया।
आपने एक बात कही है कि एक अलग तरह की पद्धति से जो है हम ठीक करेंगे, क्योंकि हॉस्पिटल में जो एक बीइंग टाइम के लिए जो मेडिसिन है वो हार्मफुल रहती है। तो मैम जी, हमारा जो देश है वो 75वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहा है आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव काल।
बिल्कुल।
जब हम 100वां अमृत महोत्सव काल मनाएंगे, जो मोदी जी ने सपना देखा है 1947 से 2047, तो ये जो 25 साल हैं हमारे 100वां अमृत महोत्सव काल के लिए, तो क्या आप उस टाइम कैसा भारत आप देखना चाहेंगी, या कैसा भारत बन जाएगा? सब शिक्षित हो जाएंगे, स्वस्थ हो जाएंगे और सेफ हो जाएंगे?
बिल्कुल, हमारा उद्देश्य यही है, जिसकी तरफ पूरे तरीके से यशोदा सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल्स की पूरी डॉक्टर्स की टीम, नर्सेस की टीम, मार्केटिंग की टीम एकजुट होकर लगी हुई है, इसी सपने को साकार करने के लिए। और हम ज़रूर देखते हैं कि आने वाले वक्त में जैसे मोदी जी ने इतना कुछ परिवर्तन लेके आए हैं, डेफिनेटली ये एक बहुत बड़ा एक देश ऑलरेडी बन चुका है, जिसे लोग बहुत ऊंचा समझते हैं।
जैसे उन्होंने अभी नारा दिया है, वन नेशन, वन फैमिली, वन फ्यूचर, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, ये हमारी पुरानी नीति वो है हमारी। और तो क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप इसके बारे में?
देखिए, ये बहुत गर्व की बात है कि G20 के अंदर ये जो नारा दिया गया है, इसके ऊपर पूरे संपूर्ण तरीके से पूरा भारत एकजुट होकर काम कर रहा है। और मैं बहुत खुश हूँ इस बारे में बताने में कि हेल्थ केयर के माध्यम में मेडिकल वैल्यू ट्रैवल मेन एजेंडा बनाया गया है G20 के लिए, जो कि एक अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है। इससे पता चलता है कि भारत किस दिशा में जा रहा है अपने हेल्थ केयर की उद्देश्य को लेकर।
हाँ, क्योंकि जो हमारे G20 में 20 देश भाग ले रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है, और इंडिया में हो रहा है, ये तो मील का पत्थर साबित वाली बात है मैम। बहुत अच्छी बात है, जब से मोदी जी ने सत्ता संभाली है, देश प्रगति की तरफ बढ़ रहा है। बेटी बचाओ, बेटी पढ़ाओ, हर घर तिरंगा, बहुत से डिजिटल इंडिया बनाने की बहुत सी मुहिम उन्होंने छेड़ रखी हैं। तो क्या लगता है मैम कि स्वास्थ्य के ऊपर, पर्यावरण के ऊपर क्या हम सफल हो पाएंगे आने वाले 25 सालों में?
बिल्कुल जी, डिजिटल इंडिया जो मोदी जी का सपना है, वो डिजिटल हेल्थ केयर जो आज बहुत ही महत्व रखता है, जिससे टेली मेडिसिन, टेली पैथोलॉजी, टेली रेडियोलॉजी, ये सारी विश्व की सारी संपूर्ण चीज़ें एक भारत प्रदर्शन कर रहा है, और विश्व भर में ये हेल्थ के माध्यम, डिजिटल के माध्यम से हेल्थ के लिए सारे के सारे साहूकार सब कुछ ही एकत्रित करके, सारे सोर्सेज एकत्रित करके, सारे एक बहुत अच्छे स्ट्रैटेजिक प्लान के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, थैंक यू वेरी मच, बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको मैम, इस तरह के आप कार्य कर रहे हैं, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद, थैंक यू।
तो नमस्कार दोस्तों, गौरव गुप्ता जी हमारे साथ में हैं। तो सर जी क्या कहने चाहेंगे आप? इस तरह की जो सेलिब्रेशन हैं हमारे जो हिंदुस्तान के क्रांतिकारी लोग हैं उनके भी होने चाहिए पूरे वर्ल्ड में, जैसे इंडिया में नेल्सन मंडेला जी का मनाया जाता है।
डेफिनेटली ग्लोबल ट्रेड एंड टेक्नोलॉजी काउंसिल का उद्देश्य ये है कि वर्ल्ड लीडर्स को प्रमोट और उनको उनके जीवन से कुछ सीखा जाए और सेलिब्रेट किया जाए। हमारे यहाँ महात्मा गांधी जी जैसे हैं, अफ्रीका के लिए नेल्सन मंडेला है, दोनों वर्ल्ड लीडर हैं। दोनों का आज भी यहाँ ये जिक्र आया कि जैसे दोनों जुड़वा भाई हैं। तो इसका मनाने का उद्देश्य ये होता है कि किसी भी महापुरुष का दिन हम मनाते हैं तो उसके जीवन से जो प्रेरणा मिलती है उसको याद किया जा सकता है और रिवाइव किया जा सकता है। नई जनरेशन में प्रेरणा मिलती है और हमें हर बार एक नई बात का पता लगता है। इन लोगों की महापुरुष की जीवनी और जीवन इतना बड़ा होता है कि कुछ ना कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है। आज भी नई बातें कम से कम 15 कंट्री के लोग अवेलेबल थे जिन्होंने अपने विचार रखे, और नेल्सन मंडेला जी के बारे में और उनकी जीवनी के बारे में। कुछ एम्बेसडर तो ऐसे थे जो उनके साथ उनसे बात कर चुके हैं, मिल चुके हैं, तो ये अलग संस्मरण था, अलग एक आज टॉप थी।
कुछ बुकें भी रिलीज की गई
हाँ,
आज
ये मेरा
प्रभात प्रकाशन से।
या प्रभात प्रकाशन द्वारा मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मेरी बुक उन्होंने आज रिलीज़ करी नेल्सन मंडेला की जीवनी पर। ये भी बुक क्या है कि सिंपल भाषा में लिखी गई है, जिससे नई जनरेशन को मंडेला जी के जीवन से कुछ प्रेरणा मिले। और मंडेला जी का जीवन में 5 दिसंबर का एक लाइफ से जुड़ गया है उनके, और 5 दिसंबर का भी मेरा भी जन्मदिन होता है, तो मैं सब जुड़ा हुआ मानता हूँ उसको।
तो अच्छी बात है। तो इसी तरह से जो बुक आपने नेल्सन मंडेला के ऊपर लिखी है, तो हमारे जो क्रांतिकारी हैं महात्मा गांधी, चंद्रशेखर आज़ाद, शहीद भगत सिंह, इनके ऊपर भी कुछ बुक आप लिखने का विचार कर रहे हैं?
डेफिनेटली, जैसे समय मिलेगा कुछ ना कुछ लिखते रहेंगे और चलता रहेगा,
ताकि आपकी विचारधारा आम जनता तक, आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए जो है वो प्रेरणादायक हो। G20 की अध्यक्षता हमें मिली है, क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
हमारा देश जो तरक्की कर रहा है विजनरी प्राइम मिनिस्टर के नेतृत्व में, ये G20 तो एक मौका मिला है, हर कंट्री को मिलता है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, जो सारी कंट्रीज इतनी खुश हैं कि इतना काम हो रहा है, इस पर भी हमने एक बुक रिलीज़ करी हुई है, पेंटिंग की हमारे एक मेंबर ने। G20 की हमने जितनी 20 कंट्रीज़ हैं और 20 यूरोप की कंट्रीज़ में जुड़ी हुई हैं, 40 कंट्री एक ही पेंटिंग में, एक ही सिंगल लाइन ड्राइंग में है, जो 25 फुट लंबी बुक है। हमारे मेंबर आर्टिस्ट AP सीधर ने रिलीज़ करी है, और नेक्स्ट टाइम हम आपको सुबह दिखाएंगे।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।